It all began for me on that fall day when it was time for me to go into my supervisor's office for my annual performance review. That's the time of the year where you get to go in with your manager and talk about the milestones that you either met or missed for that performance year. I was excited and full of hope. My heart was full and I was thrilled to get in there to talk to her because I knew I had done the work. I had put in the time. I had dedicated and committed myself to meeting all the milestones, and I knew it was time for that next promotion. When I went in and sat down at her desk and we began to talk about what I had done throughout the year, and she ended by asking me, where did I see myself throughout the next year and what goals we were going to have for me? And I shared with her that I felt like it was time for the promotion, the next step in my journey. And then she responded back to me, Lisa, I believe that you're being a little over enthusiastic. When I was your age, I was still a receptionist answering the phones. You need to slow down a little bit and take your time. You'll get there eventually. You know what happened to all of that hope that was in my heart? It sank to my gut. I felt dejected. I never expected her to say anything like that to me, especially since I looked up to her and I had worked so hard, or so I thought. I left her office that afternoon and sat down at my desk, my cubicle to be exact, and I just didn't know what to do next. And as often is the case, when I don't know what to do, I don't do anything. And I did nothing. I mean, nothing. I didn't take any more classes. I didn't do any more trainings. I didn't apply for any new jobs or ask for any more promotions. I was in the dumps. Her saying to me that where I was over enthusiastic and when she was my age, she was still in another position, in a support position, but not in a professional position like she is today. I began to think, am I being over enthusiastic? Am I expecting too much? But then I had to remember I was a single mom. I wanted to experience economic liberation. I needed the money in order to be able to provide abundantly for my children. I don't know if that was the case for her. I am moved by the United Nations women's statistics that there are over 100 million, yes, single mothers globally, of which I am proudly one. In order to experience economic freedom to be able to provide for my children, I needed to progress in my career. I needed to earn more income. And it appeared to me as if I had hit a brick wall. The summer rolled around, and my daughter, my oldest, wanted to go to summer camp. Sleepaway camp to be exact, where she would be surrounded by students from all over the globe. It was an international camp, but it wasn't inexpensive. It cost quite a bit of money for me at that time, at that particular level where I was professionally. And I just wasn't able to scratch together the funds for her to go. How disappointed that made me feel that I wasn't able to do that for her. But what it did, seeing the look in her eyes when I told her she couldn't go that summer, but I would make sure that she went the next summer, it lit a flame under me. Even though my supervisor at the time wasn't encouraging me, I found the need for me to find mentors, those from afar, read books, start taking the trainings again in order for me to position myself to move forward. that also sparked within me my calling, my vocation for what I do today. I help teach single mothers globally how to provide for their families abundantly and effortlessly in order to pursue their professional and personal goals without stress or guilt, because I know what that feels like. That's where I was. So in the process of getting my training, I got my coach certification and mentorship. So I decided it was time. Even though the promotion and progression wasn't happening where I was, my future, my ability to get ahead was not my supervisor's responsibility. It was mine. Although her words were devastating, I'm not going to lie and say that they weren't. But the ultimate outcome and my decision or indecision was 100% up to me. So I decided on the day that I had to tell my daughter she couldn't go to camp that summer because I didn't have the resources, that was going to be the last time that that happened. So I began to apply for positions and I got promoted and climbed the ladder one rung at a time and was able to experience the economic liberation that I so desired. But in the process of progressing and parenting, there was burnout, there was stress. I had to learn how to incorporate pampering, taking care of myself. Now, that seems like a bit of an oxymoron because I was so used to taking care of my children. But when stress entered in terms of caring for them and climbing that corporate ladder, I had to revise the narrative that self-care, it's not selfish. It's actually necessary. I had to look at it like this. Just like I would protect my children, and I did, and care for them, and encourage them, and take time and spend time with them to nurture them, I too had to take care of myself and to refuel myself so that I could be the best version of me that I could be. So I could be the best mom. I could be the best employee, the best boss, the best supervisor I could be. But I couldn't do that alone. I needed a support system for that. That's where the Girl Squad came in, as my children now affectionately call them, the aunties. That's when I had to reach out for help, my village, assemble a village even, and let those closest to me, my girl tribe, know, hey, I'm a little stressed out. I need some help. Was it a girls' trip? Not always. Sometimes it was just them helping me to orchestrate play dates and trips for the kids so I could just have some quiet time at home, to read a book uninterrupted, mind you, to be able to take a luxuriating bubble bath and not have to worry about the knock on the door and being interrupted well before I was through enjoying and relaxing myself. The girl tribe became critical also as I began to send my children off to college and one off into the military. They helped support me when I was transitioning into an empty nester. I never thought initially that it was possible to progress and pamper while parenting. But the day that I awoke to the possibility of not having to do an either or, but a both, my world opened up and expanded in a way that I had not experienced before. Imagine that if 100 million single mothers awakened to the possibility that they can progress and experience economic liberation, also pampering themselves as long as they have good mentors in place, a nice, strong girl tribe, and the support system, their village, it is possible. And the life that I live today demonstrated to my children that it is possible to fly. My oldest is now a school teacher of children with special needs. And my youngest protects us, our liberation, our freedom in the United States military. I am a proud single mom who has awakened to the possibility of both progression and pampering while parenting. Thank you.